Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Corn Star. Today we are going to be working on the 100% restoration and remodel of my great-great-grandfather's $7,000 mansion. And also, big thank you to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Today we have one goal. The area that is going to be the underground movie theater is full of water. We need to get this water gone. So here's our plan of attack and here's what's going on. We already dug this 200-foot long ditch with a 6-inch drain tile in the bottom of it, and that was able to lower our water level through here about a foot. This area is actually starting to dry up pretty good. You can see we're actually starting to get some dry dirt on top, which is nice. But when we got digging into this back corner, we discovered we have a little natural spring somewhere over here, and you can actually see water flowing right out of the side of this hill. You can see all that flowing right through there, and this is causing a problem because it's putting about 6 inches of water here over on this side of the underground movie theater. We cannot do any building when we have this absolute soup that we are standing in, so we need to get all of this water gone. So the plan of attack is we have a trench over here right now with a drain tile in it. We are going to dig one that is identical to that one. Just the only difference is it's going to be over here, and the one over here is going to be 4 feet deeper than the one over there. So that way we are going to lower this water level quite literally 4 feet. So before we can get started digging, our first order of operations is we are currently moving the LP tank with the excavator, because right where that LP tank is where we need to position the excavator, so that way we can start digging right here. Can't say that I've ever seen an LP tank be moved like this before, but hey, I guess what works, works, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. If all goes to plan today, this is the 6-inch tile that we will be laying down underground inside of the trench, and this bad boy is what's going to be taking all the water out from underneath the floor and helping us drop that water level 4 feet. So I hope everything goes well so that way we can get this in. Now I'm ready to start building. All right, Roman, you're going to be the excavator operator today. Do you have anything that you would like to say, or what are you looking forward to doing? How do you think this is going to go? What are your thoughts?
I'm really hoping we can get the trench dug out, but I've never done something that deep, and I've watched Ron do it, and he's much more fluid with the excavator than I am, so.
There's only one way you're going to learn.
We'll get it done.
The rotary laser is going to be an extremely important tool on this job for us, because it is going to allow us to be able to, number one, measure the depth of where we're digging, so we know that we're actually 4 feet lower than the floor. And then number two, this particular laser allows us to have a built-in slope, so we can set it at a 1% all the way up to a 15% slope, and then this will track it for us, so that way we're not trying to do measurements or eyeball things. We know we're actually going to get it right. So this is going to make this job really easy, which is nice because we have a lot of dirt to move. The green button should turn this on, and it's calibrating for a second. Then when we hit it again, we should see this start to spin up here. So tap it again. Nope. Do I need to hold it maybe? There we go, she's doing her thing. And also, since I'm whole guy today, we got our shoes off. We got the waterproof boots on. Not ideal for an 80-degree day, but hey, it's better than having a shoe full of mud. Well, Roman's getting the top area prepared with the excavator to be able to actually dig and get down to my depth. We have quite a bit of surface water in here right now. I'm hoping that I can take out this little land bridge between this puddle and where our drain is. Maybe be able to get some of the surface water off, so that when we're digging, we're not flooding ourselves out right away. Just a little trench excavator safety right here. Roman can see me, so he knows I'm down here. He's not just blindly dumping into this. He can put like 2,000 pounds worth of dirt in that bucket. So if I was under there and he dumped that on me, that could very well take me out. So we have to be very careful. This is massive equipment that's super strong, and we're working in some pretty deep environments where visibility could be limited. So the last thing we want is anyone to get hurt. So I'm in very clear communication with Roman, and we're making sure that we can always see each other. We're not blindly dumping. This is my favorite part right here at the end where the water comes rushing in. I got a big rock right there. There we go. We got water flow. Big old mud water slide. Yeehaw. Now when it gets over here to this fabric is permeable. And so the water will just run right inside of it, and then there is our perforated tile line in there as well, and then that'll take it down to our drainage ditch. Yeah, that's a lot of water. Whew. When you let the water clear up, you can't really see it moving, but if I muddy it up like this a little bit, then you can just watch the flow. See, now it's not gonna wanna flow for me, now it's just circulating. There it goes. Now it's starting to take off downstream, so it's moving pretty good. Yeehaw, there it goes. Now let's go see what it looks like on the other end of the tile, actually dumping out into the drainage ditch. Oh yeah, we got a nice flow coming down in here. Look at that. That is actually a significant amount of water coming through there. Wow. Nice. Today we got some bonus help from Cooper. This is my brother, and then we got Zach up here. He's pushing with the big skid loader. He's kind of stacking everything up on this pile, packing it so that way the water will shed off, and it won't be just a big mucky mess when we come in later and try to get it out of here. Roman is just about now down to grade, so Cooper's got the grade stick. So where we have the receiver up there at the top, that has to be equal to the plane that the laser is on, so about right where my hand is. So Cooper's gonna stick it down here in the hole once Roman gets a little bit more digging done, and then we'll be able to establish the 4.5 feet lower here, then from right here, and then we'll move the laser to about where Cooper's standing, and then we'll be able to set it on our 1 degree slope, and then keep digging down. Now Roman has to be a little careful right here. I was digging the dirt at the bottom. See how it's a lot lighter colored material? There's more clay content down there. And then when we get up to the top, we have the nice black organic matter soil. So Roman's trying to do a good job of making sure he takes the top 3 feet. He sets it off onto the side. Then when he gets a big enough pile, then Zach comes up with the skid loader and he puts it down there in that black dirt pile. So that way when we come back and fill everything back in, we'll put this clay down on the bottom, and then we'll cap everything with the black dirt on top, and then the grass and stuff will be able to grow really nice in that black dirt. So that's interesting. That stuff that's almost gray, that is clay. I guess when the water level gets up to it every now and again, it, for whatever reason, turns it to that color. When we get to an area where it's all that gray color, that means there's always water there. So the water table that we're at right now, it must just be a high water table because we've been getting a lot of rain. But this area, according to that clay, definitely gets saturated with water. And you can see it all coming right through the side of where we're digging right now. There's a big sand pocket right there. It's just flowing out of it. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit some water down there. That is for sure. One of the really nice things about being able to work right here beside the house when it comes to making food, I can just be sitting here grilling some pork burgers while watching everybody dig and work. How's it working, Roman?
I got it over dug a little bit by 4 inches or so.
Oh, that's fine. Over dig's a little bit better than under digging. You can always fill back in.
Well, if we can reach. I'm out of reach here. I can.
Yeah, but you can just use a shovel right there. Just use your foot. Just keep doing what you just did with your left foot. There you go. Just like that. See? See how there's already a bunch of water down at the bottom of this trench? That is exactly what we did not want, because you don't know how deep that water is. It could be this deep or it could be a foot deep. You don't know. And so it's really hard to be able to see from up there and know if you're digging on slope when you can't see the bottom. But it's one of those things. We're digging below all of this water over here, so it's going to seep in we don't really have much of a choice other than just to keep standing in there and measuring it every so often with the stick, like measuring every foot literally the whole way through, and then we'll get it that way. So it's a little bit more annoying, but it is what it is. Just a few minutes ago, a couple guys rolled in. I guess they're doing a construction project down the road where they must have widened some corners, and they have some extra lime with rock in it. And they said, hey, do you guys want any of that? We are going to be building a basement over here, and our ground kind of does this, and we're going to need it to be able to do that. So we're going to do that build up with lime. So we're going to be buying it here in the future. So I told them to bring out a few loads. So I need to move some equipment over here, and we have our little rock pile that we need to resituate. So that way they can bring loads out. I'm hoping I can get 10 semi-loads. We'll see what they bring us. Wait for the trucks to get here. They'll be able to come in. They have side dump trailers. They'll dump here, and then we'll just kind of keep piling it up. I'm hoping this is a big enough area for 10 loads. It's hard to visualize exactly how big 10 loads is, but everything's nice and out of the way right here, and it's super close to where we're working, because when we actually need the lime, we'll be able to scoop into it here, and then it'll basically just be, well, kind of right here on the other side of where this big dirt pile is. So we're gonna have to get this out of here at some point too, because that's gonna be in the way. I don't know exactly when they're going to be here to drop off the line, but for the time being, I might as well go stand down there where Roman is, so that way Roman can be the professional operator of the excavator. Well, this is starting to dry up here. We've lost a couple inches of water height since we started earlier today. This has came down a lot. Most of it's probably disappeared into this. To be honest, underground, not over the top. Oh my goodness. There's literally nowhere good to stand inside of this. You see, that's where all the water's coming from. These pockets running down. Yeah, some pump in here might not work too bad. Oh yeah, she's sucking. It's gonna work. Pause from the project for a second. Question: have you ever had anything stolen from you before? It stinks, right? And not only that, it makes you feel violated and unsafe. This is exactly why I invested in a SimpliSafe security system. I want to be safe. If you're not familiar with SimpliSafe, in my opinion, it is the easiest to set up and use security system on the market. To be honest, I think it's so good, I have 5 systems to help protect my entire farm. SimpliSafe offers whole home comprehensive security, from advanced sensors to cameras, all designed to detect break-ins, floods, fires, and more. My favorite part is they also offer 24/7 professional monitoring. This means that if anything happens, they automatically call the authorities, which means I am always protected. An installation is about as easy as it gets. Glass break sensor. Gotta be very careful.
SimpliSafe on. Home.
By the way, SimpliSafe does offer professional installation. My personal favorite SimpliSafe tools are the cameras. I put them everywhere. SimpliSafe also costs less than $1 a day, and there are no long-term contracts or hidden fees. If you would like to give SimpliSafe a try, save 20% off your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for a Fast Protect monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplisafe.com/Cole to customize yours. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
SimpliSafe on. Home.
Roman and I have been at it for a couple hours now. We've made it a fair bit of ways, but we keep getting into more and more of those gravel sand pockets where the water's just shooting in from the side. And so now our sump pump on this end is not the problem, or it's not taking away the water because everything is down lower that's feeding in. So what we're gonna do, Roman's got an extension cord he's spreading down there right now. We're gonna take the sump pump and we're gonna put it all the way down there at the end. We are concerned about this particular area caving off, and our pipe not being set at the grade that it's supposed to be, we got a couple low spots in the middle that we need to fill with a little bit of dirt. But when we have 8 inches of water on top of it, when we throw the dirt in, it just turns into like a soup, and the pipe pushes straight to the bottom, and we don't get rid of our low spots. So we need to get rid of the water so that way we can throw dry dirt in and then be able to get our pipe at the level. So also another thing we were gonna do, I have the sump pump looped back here right now. I'm going to put the end of the sump pump into this pipe, and we're gonna try to fill the whole thing with water. So then hopefully if there is a little bit of water in some of those low spots, if the pipe's full of water, it should keep it from floating, or keep it from floating as easily, hopefully. Roman's got the sump pump down there all the way at the bottom, standing in about 10 inches of water. And look at that, we are pumping some muddy water out. That is a nice healthy flow. Roman and I got a little bit carried away down in the mud, and we didn't want to get up to grab a camera, so we just went to work. So we decided that we were just going to cover this pipe. It's a little bit soft right here yet. We're not going to cover this area yet. But we ended up covering the pipe. We brought in a bunch of this sand that was on the side, gravelly sand, and we were able to get it under the pipe, so now it's solid. We got everything covered up. You can see our water running down the end. The sump pump at the end did an absolutely wonderful job. So now we are not wanting this to fill up with water overnight and have this pipe that we just covered with sand to come floating up. So Cooper is up above right now with the mini excavator. He's clearing a little spot so that way he can come up here to the edge, and then he will take it and just set some nice bucketfuls right over this here in the middle. So we're gonna push a little bit of dirt, probably fill it back up to here or so, and then that should prevent us from getting our pipe to float up now that we have it set, and then we won't have to mess with this muddy spot anymore, and then hopefully that'll actually help with some water down at the end when we get over there and continue digging. I'm taking a break from the project now because we are headed to the Iowa State Fair. I'm going to go show a steer at the Iowa Governor's Charity Steer Show, and hopefully we take home the win in every single category. That's what we're shooting for. We're gonna win?
We are gonna win. We are gonna, I shouldn't say we. Izzy is gonna win. She's pumped up. She's ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Iowa State Fair. We are coming on what was the busiest day ever last year. Like 118,000 people came. Really nice weather today, so we could be looking at potentially a record-breaking attendance day. We'll see. And hopefully everybody comes to watch me show a steer for the very first time. I have no idea what I'm doing, so today is a brand new experience for me. Okay, I take that back. I got to practice walk the steer around the yard the other day for about 30 minutes, so I do have a little bit of idea of what I'm doing, but I've never done a show before, so I don't know what to expect. See if my fake ticket works. Yes, we're in. So we're getting everything scouted out ahead of time here on where we need to go. This is going to be the building that we're going to be showing in later. It looks like they got some sort of cow show going on right now. I don't know much about what I'm looking at, but tall cows at that end and short cows down at this end. I think we got everything scouted out in there, so we at least have a rough idea of what's going on. As you can see, there's a lot of people here, so we're running a little contest, at least between my brother-in-law Jay and I, on who can recognize the first person that we know. I have a feeling that I'm going to win. Hey Jay, I win. Dang it. I know these people. So one of the really big things at the Iowa State Fair is they have a big boar and they have a big bull. Well, this is the big bull. His name is Teddy Bear. He weighs 3,060 pounds, which for context, a cow is usually in about a 1,500 pound range when they go to get butchered. So he literally sleeps, sits, and eats while laying down. And right on the other side of the big bull, we have all of the steers that are going to be a part of the Iowa Governor's Charity Steer Show. So the bull, or the steer that I'm going to be showing is right here. Hola, vaca. Hola. He's just chilling right now in the air conditioning, which is just these big fans, but it's only like 75 degrees out, so he's getting some nice airflow on him. Look how fuzzy his ears are. This is my favorite part about him. This is probably my favorite exhibit right here, the people who have their apples that are judged.
That's pretty cool. Look at these little ones right here.
Oh, this is the crab apple. Wow, they won the... Wow. We're on our way to go look at the butter cow, and on the way there, I guess they have a free egg booth every year, so you always got to get your free egg. Hard-boiled egg. There it is, the butter cow. That is a life-size cow made entirely of butter, and then there's some sculptures beside it too that are also made of butter. Now this is the real line to get into it. Sometimes you can wait in that line for like half an hour. So we're in the secondary line, so that's why we're looking through.
My mom's heart is also made of butter because she eats it straight from the stick.
All right, what do you got?
What's going on? We got some maple cream. You want some maple cream?
Sure, I'll give it a try.
This pure maple syrup.
Oh boy. That's dangerously good.
I got roasted peanuts, and pecans, and they're the best.
These are the giant pumpkins, a 641-pound pumpkin, and it got 4th place. Where's the big one at?
Up here.
Oh, they're over here. Holy tamales, 1,000 pounds, 3rd place. Take a look at the big one, 1,294 pounds. This is without a doubt the softest plant that I've ever felt. This literally feels like fleece.
Like lamb's
It's like fleece.
Like lamb's ear?
No, like fleece. We got to do our walking around and looking at stuff. Now it's time to get to business, I suppose. I have a meet and greet between 2:30 and 4:30, and then at 4:30, then the actual show itself starts. And then that goes from 4:30 to 5:30. Then at 5:30, I believe, then they sell the cows for the charity sale. And so depending on how you place depends on where your cow sells. So like if you get some sort of award, you're like in the top 5 first cows that sell. But if you don't, then there's 24 cows that sell total. So we're probably going to be committed to something from 2 o'clock to, I'm going to say 6:30.
Is showing with Cole, the Corn Star from Corn Star Farms, who is a YouTube and social media influencer. Their steer's name is Sirloin, and he's going to be working with Izzy.
Hey!
You want people to see you?
No?
No? They're gonna.
They're gonna? What's up, fans?
The backgrounds at this show is kind of nuts. Everybody's getting their calves ready now, so they're all soaping them up, and we've got guys down here with all their brushes and clippers, the whole process. Who knew you had to get a cow ready like this? So here in a little bit, we get to do something kind of cool. When all the cows get done and the show's getting ready to start, we actually take them out on the main street where all the people are. Everybody opens up, and we go walking through. And then the show starts, we take them into the arena, and then the judging starts.
This is a real neat honor for me to be here with Izzy and Cole and Sirloin. Pretty cool, pretty cool. One thing when you're at the fair, you don't think about how much work these kids put into each of their projects, from animals to redoing woodwork to whatever they're doing. So we got to be proud of the kids. And that's one thing nice about 4-H. These kids get to do things that are pretty incredible.
Like and subscribe to Golden Corn Star.
That is our governor of Iowa walking the very first cow in. Each person leading a cow is a celebrity in some which way.
Cows walking Cole.
Great job, Izzy.
Thank you.
You did a great job. That was a lot of fun. That was great. Just fun watching all the people get excited. That's what it's all about.
It was awesome.
just got back from the show. I'll give you a little recap of how everything ended up turning out, but I'm gonna have a little bit of a drive ahead of me because I need to go get some materials. So I'm gonna give a little update on what's going on here with digging our big trench, then we'll hop in the truck and we'll talk about the show. All right, Roman, what happened down here?
We have water.
Like, that's a 6-foot ladder and there's a foot sticking out. So we have a lot of water, kind of water. Did you bring your swimming trunks? We could go swimming right here.
Yeah, my one suit. What do you call it? One-piece suit.
Oh, you have one of those?
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we decided to fill this spot in before we left. Otherwise, our entire pipe would be down there floating underneath 5 feet of water. So while that end is draining out and this end is draining out, that spool of pipe we have is all that we have left of this 6-inch non-perforated, which is what we are using underneath to go out to our drainage ditch down there. So we are going to need about another 100 feet of it or so. And then we are going to end up pattern tiling underneath of where the underground movie theater is actually going to be. So while we're waiting for that to drain, Roman's getting everything greased up on the excavator. I'm gonna run into town. I need to get some more separation fabric, and then while I'm in town, I might as well also get the rest of the pipe and the fittings and everything that we are going to need. So that way, as soon as we get done digging down there, we can get the rest of the pipe laid in, and then hopefully we can come in here and start digging our pattern tile lines in, so that way we can actually get this water level to completely disappear and drop 4 feet. Let's talk about the steer show. So first thing, it was a massive honor to be able to do it, and thank you to everybody who invited me to be able to come in and do that. They've done it for 43 years and 24 people per year are selected, so it's pretty cool when you get to do something that only 1,000 people or 1,000 some people have ever done. As for how the show went, so there was a couple different ways that you could win. They had different categories. So number one, you could win with the animal. We did not win with the animal. We did not think we were going to. There's some pretty stiff competition when it comes to that. So we didn't even make the top 5 when it came to the actual showing of the animal. So another thing that we thought we could have a possibility of winning was the showmanship award. And that is basically them evaluating you and your partner and kind of like the way you're walking with your animal, and like they want to see the animal be one with you. My animal, my steer, Sirloin, he was a little freaked out. He's used to looking at his fans in his barn by himself with his other cow friend, and you know, nice and quiet. When we walked out of the cattle barn, there's 1,000 people standing on the sidewalk. They split the street so that way we can walk through. Really cool, but Sirloin was freaked out. Then we walk into the arena, there's like 2,000 people in there, and everybody's yelling and screaming, and yeah, he was spooked. And so when a 1,440 pound animal wants to go somewhere, he's gonna go there. I weigh 165 pounds. I was not stopping him. I was trying my little heart out, but for 2 hours I'm walking around trying to pull on his leash and slow him down, get him to go where we needed him to go, and he was fighting it the entire way. So I was pretty much just kind of being drug around by him. He pushed me into the gate right when we came in. He stepped on my foot. Yeah, it was a little rough. We did not win showmanship, but I did have a lot of fun, I will say. I am sore. Both of my arms are sore. You have to hold their head up because like the way you're trying to show their head and their neck profile. So my arm went numb like 45 minutes in. But regardless, we weren't there to win stuff. It was fun. And then another way we could have won was through the Community Hero Award, which was the girl's steer that I was showing. Her name was Izzy. Izzy did some things for the Ronald McDonald Foundation, different donations, servings, that kind of thing. And basically she accumulated points through doing that. And so we did not accumulate enough points to be able to win the Community Hero Award. So we got to be a part of it and show the animal and talk, and it was really cool. I'm not gonna lie, by the end of it I was pretty tired, just because I was being tucked around by the animal the entire time. And I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Oh yes, there was the People's Choice Awards, which everybody basically just cheered as loud as they could for the people they wanted to win that award. we got blown out of the water on that one too. But the Iowa Governor's Charity Steer Show is not about us winning awards. It is a charity fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald Foundation, and all of the money that was raised goes to the Ronald McDonald Foundation in Iowa to help serve families that have children that are in the hospital and allow them to be able to just focus on taking care of their children and not have to worry about all the other financial aspects of it. So that is what it was about. It was not about us at all. We were just representatives for the animals that were being shown in the show. So when we got done, Izzy's steer sirloin, he ended up selling for $4,500. And Izzy also raised an additional $12,300 that was donated into it as well. So a little over $16,000, which is incredible, just on Izzy. And then there was 24 cows that sold total. So I don't know the total amount that was raised. Last year they raised $501,000, and this year they were trying to beat that. So that is how the steer show went. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I'd definitely do it again. Now, going back to the Underground Movie Theater project, we are at the store. Quick little in and out trip. We ended up grabbing a 4-foot wide, 300-foot roll of some geotextile fabric, and then we grabbed an 8-foot wide roll. The 4-foot roll is gonna go on our 4-inch pipe, and the 8-foot roll is gonna go on our 6-inch pipe. Frankly, as much time as I do not want to take out of my day to go pick up stuff from the store, I'm already halfway to the tile place, so we are just going to pick that up while we're here, and then we should not have to make any more store trips, and we'll just be able to get the rest of this done. Welcome to the tile place. That is a lot of pipe. We don't need that much pipe. We just need one of these little rolls right here. One of my favorite things about the tile place is this is an old school business where handshake meant to handshake. Everything is laid out right here. You can just roll up to it with your trailer, load it up. I'm sure the keys are in all the equipment if we needed to load some of the bigger stuff, like these big rolls of pipe over here. And they have a ticket in the office. You just fill out what you got, you leave it on the table, and then they send you a bill for it. Most of the time, at least that I've been here, nobody's been here. Only actually one time a guy was here. And outside of that, they just trust what you picked up, which I find to be really nice, because you can just kind of come here whenever, and most people who are putting in this stuff are really busy, and sometimes they just need to come in, grab something and go, and not go through the whole checkout process and everything else. So I really appreciate it, and I really like businesses that are like this. And I mean, it only works because of trust. So it just stinks that untrustworthy people ruin it in other places, but here is working. And I just like coming here. Oh! We made it. Using the filled-in spot to be able to climb down in here a little bit easier. Before we had to go through the deep water ladder over there. So now we should be able to go into this. And this doesn't look like it's nearly as sticky. Wait, never mind. Maybe. Not as bad, not as bad. Okay, we'll take it. We're gonna help Roman with, holy cow, I just about watched my life flash before my eyes right there. We are gonna watch Roman and help him build and maintain grade. So that way he doesn't have to keep getting in and out of the excavator. We're now making some changes on the run. We've been running this at a 2% slope, but we are starting to run out of runway to hit where we're going to be daylighting it to our drainage ditch. So we just moved the laser down into here, and then Roman is turning it to a 1 degree slope now. So hopefully we will start getting closer to the surface. We've been kind of maintaining like this 8-foot deep point, and we need to get it where we're like 3 feet deep by the time we get to the end. And we probably have 40 yards left or so to dig, so we still have plenty of room. We just want to make sure that we get to that 3 feet below ground, so that way we can shoot it out. Otherwise, if we get to the end and all of a sudden we have a big ramp up, that is not going to work and the water's not going to leave it. And then we kind of would have done all this work for nothing. So we're just gonna flip it to 1 degree now. And just for context sake, a 2% slope, for every foot we go that way, it drops 1/4 of an inch. So going to a 1% slope, we should be, for every foot we go that way, we're dropping about 1/8 of an inch. So we've been digging for a few hours now, and I think we have everything done. There's maybe 15 feet down there that we need to get in there with the shovel and hand dig, because I'm not good enough with the excavator to be able to dig in front of me and also be able to dig behind me and then be able to get off the trench without collapsing it in, especially when I have a pipe right beside me that I'm trying not to crush. So I kind of had to do the very end a little weird, but the rest of this should be to grade now. So Roman's down there. He's throwing in some dirt around the pipe. We're trying to make sure we get rid of all of our low spots that we accidentally made with the excavator. So he's throwing in the sand beside the pipe, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing pinned down just like we did on the other end, so that way we can get all this closed, because if it fills up with water, the pipe will float. So one of the things Roman's actually running into right now is the pipe is wanting to lift up on him with the little bit of water that he has. So I'm gonna go to the top where we have the spot where the water was all the way up the ladder. I'm gonna dunk the end of the pipe in the water, and we're gonna try to fill the pipe up, and then hopefully that'll help him be able to get it to mellow down a little bit. See how the water's way up there, it's just barely trickling in. So we're gonna try to lower that down a little bit, see if we can maybe fill it with some water. There's about 50 feet of pipe that we need to lay yet, and then there's about 20 feet where we need to do a little bit of hand digging with the shovel, and then we will be done with this trench. And speaking of done, I'm ready to be done with this trench and get started on actually pattern tiling the area where we want to work. This pipe, laying it in a 42-inch wide trench that is soft on the bottom, is quite challenging, and I'm frankly tired of walking in the mud and having my feet get stuck all the time. Oh, but we're almost there. Speaking of almost there, I'm about ready to fall asleep. So this is all we got for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.